In this video, we're going to explore the CLA Bass plugin on something like a hip-hop sampled beat.
Keep it real, I'm independent, I don't need no deal. I'm jaws on the beat, I got a flow that kills. Do my thing with a few G's, Lauryn Hill.
Let's see what else we can use these things for. In this track here, I've got a sampled upright bass line, which is just chopped out, and it's a little bit dirty, it's a little bit plucky, and I've kept some like nasty chops in there as well. You know, it gives an alright feel. Just wondering how much further we can take it and if we can maybe use the CLA Bass to add a bit of control on some of those other elements. So let's try it out. Let's open up the CLA Bass, go to my CLA option and grab it just here. So the CLA plugins, they always basically have like an input, these 6 different profiles laid out, and then an output to re-level them out. Bass is usually like an EQ and a bit of distortion and things. There's lots going on under each slider essentially. So let's just see what it's done from the offset. Okay, so it's not improved it straight away, but that would have been a little bit magical. It's made it quite a bit louder, and that kind of makes sense because it's compressing it quite a bit here. So I think the first thing we'll do is we'll dial back that compression by about 6 dB. Now, I'm not actually taking it back by 6 dB. I'm just kind of dialing the compressor algorithm in there back a bit, kind of like a wet dry mix almost. That's kind of what the sliders do, but at different values, different places, they all push into different areas. Now, it's also adding a bunch of sub. I'm just going to switch off this. There's plenty of sub in there. I don't think it really needs it. The other thing I can hear is this honk here. It's bringing up not a great space. Oh, however, bark, that brings up lots of the detail. That's quite nice about there. I like that. So sub, we just don't need that on. Let's check out growl. I'm going to over push it. Raw's kind of nice, right? What's it like off? The spread is giving it some weird phasing, as cool as it kind of sounds. I'm going to suspect that that wouldn't work in mono. Quick way to check, I'm just going to pop a utility plugin below it, which has got a mono switch on. Let's just bash that in mono, but leave the spreader on, solo. Okay, it works surprisingly well, actually. That means we can maybe have some fun making it quite wide. Take that growl back a bit more, bark back even further. Yeah, it still seems to be adding a fair bit of gain. Let's look, we're sort of peaking at what? -10. And with it off, only about a dB. Okay, what we'll just take this back about 1 decibel. I kind of like that cool stereo effect, and it works in mono, which is interesting. Oh damn, so that stands out so much more in the track now. Damn, so that's given us some really cool effects. I really like that the widening effect it's really spread that bass out. It gives it loads of width, but it's still working in mono, which is a nice touch. Really useful that it just works on that simple slider. That's given us some really nice effects there. It's brought a lot of detail out in that bass line, and it's given it its own feel. I think the next thing I would do to really solidify it having kind of this sampled feel is I'm actually going to layer the vinyl on top of it. Now, if you do want to try out any of these plugins and get an extra discount on them, there's going to be a link below. It takes an extra 10% off even the sale prices over at Waves, so don't forget to check that out if you want to try any of today's plugins. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to leave the gain in there, and I'm going to pop the vinyl in just below. I'll take Abbey Road vinyl in stereo. So these two together just to really grit things up. I'm going to switch the turntable over to DJ and the cartridge to DJ as well. They tend to give the dirtiest amount. I don't really want any pops and clicks, but I might actually add a bit of noise. In fact, I'm going to flip these two around. The reason being is I want the noise and crackle to be pushed into the amplification that the bass is giving, and just kind of change the overall profile just a little bit. So let's try this out. Dial the input back on the vinyl a bit. It's a really weighty signal. Let's dirty it up a little bit. Might drive it a touch. Now I'll add just a little tiniest bit of wow and flutter, just so over time it kind of wobbles back and forth a bit. See the difference there now? It's really being smashed by the CLA, and when we put that in, this actually softens it off a bit. And the crackles are a bit much. Dial those back. Let's see how it feels on the track. Well guys, that's been a little experiment with the CLA bass and using it on something it wouldn't usually be used on, and using the Abbey Road vinyl there just to soften it off and, well, basically give that kind of sampled feel I was after on that bass line. Hope that video has been helpful for you, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.